No, somewhere else. We have what's called a community center, which has activities for people who live in the area, and they have a pool there. So you can sign up for swimming lanes, especially during COVID. That's the new thing. You sign up online.
I have to
go
sign
swimming.
up again.
It's wonderful. I'm just so thankful.
I do need to sign up, I think.
I'm going to push you to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna let them in.
All right. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Best of luck for the class.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hello, David. Oh, yeah, I always love that, your virtual background. It's like, oh, me wants to go there. Hi, Lewis. Good to see you. Catherine's here, Lily. We're going to have a good crowd. Elisa, is it Elisa? Am I saying that right? Oh, you're muted, Elisa.
Yeah, it's Elisa.
Elisa. All right. Elisa. Okay. Thank you for that. That's the one thing I hate mispronouncing people's names. I used to be a technical instructor, and I taught folks from around the world. So I always, had challenges when it came to certain names, and I just used to. I always would apologize. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And what I found was students from certain countries, they would just, adopt a name that was easier to pronounce for people in different countries. And I always felt terrible. I'm like, but it's not even your name, but I appreciate it. But so.
Hi.
Hello, Nancy. Good to see you. We also have Anthony with us today. Anthony is with our support team. We love our support team. They're amazing. Anthony's going to be helping me out. So if folks have questions, I always say feel free to unmute yourself, go ahead and just, ask away or put your questions in the chat. And actually, what I would really love everyone to do, if you don't mind, if there is something specific you wanted to learn today, could I ask you to put it into the chat, and I'll see if I can squeeze it in. There are a number of things that we're going to go over today, but if we have some extra time, I would love to be able to maybe see if I can squeeze in some special requests. So feel free to just enter into the chat if there's something specific you wanted to learn how to do on your iPad. I may or may not be able to get to it today, but thank you for that. And I am going to go ahead and get us started. I'll just wait. Actually, Anne's coming in today. I'll just wait for her to join. Hi, Lily. It's good to see you. Here's Hiroko. She always has the most beautiful virtual backgrounds. The colors are just, they're really, they're almost haunting, but, and Helen, you've updated your image there. Helen now has
the other
white.
one broke.
The other one broke.
Yeah.
Well, these are very hipster looking, so
Okay.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Anne. Good to see you. Anne's like, oh,
Sorry, I'm late.
no, nope, not a problem. You look beautiful. Don't worry.
And I didn't have time to get my background up, but I'm here. That's what counts.
Okay, that's the important part. That's right. So let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's go ahead and do this and this. It's always a little bit of this and a little bit of that. All right. All right, so welcome everyone to the iPad intermediate class. My name is Vicki. I'm your Get Set Up guide for today. If you're sitting in the lounge right now, feel free to click on that big orange enter button, and that will put you into our live studio. And once you're in the live studio, this is where you can, have access to the chat, where you can unmute yourself and ask away. And what I'm going to ask folks to do is, if I could have everybody just mute their microphones. And if you have any questions at all, any comments, feel free to unmute yourself and just ask away. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to start off by making sure everyone is comfortable working with the App Store. How do you find and download apps? We're going to learn some new gestures today. I'll show you how you can also work with multiple apps, how you can view all the apps that you currently have open. We'll see how to bring up a number of different menus that you may not even know existed. There's the search menu, the access control center, and notification center menus. So that's what we're going to start talking about today. And let's kick it off by talking about the App Store. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I just need to resize my screen here. Whoops, let's do it. Come back. I'm just clicking away like a crazy lady here. There we go. This just helps keep me, there we go, keep me on track. So what you're seeing here is, this is on the right-hand side, this is my iPad. And what I'm going to be doing is starting off by talking about the App Store. And so the App Store, and let me make sure, I'm going to change my color here because otherwise you'll never be able to see when I'm circling. So this is our home screen. The App Store is one of the apps on your home screen. And simply by tapping on the App Store, the first thing that happens is it always brings you to this screen called Today. And really, if you take your finger and you're just scrolling, doing that swiping up motion on your screen, this is all about like different suggestions for videos, for games. There are some apps. It's more about suggestions, the top games right now, what's streaming, in order to actually find, let me just move this up. I want to see, I don't know if it's going to let me move up. Oh, well, in order to really find the apps that you want, what you can do is at the bottom of the screen, there is there's the apps tab right down there at the bottom. I've circled it. So if you tap on the apps screen down at the bottom, this will bring you just to a screen where you can start scrolling. You can see favorite apps, free apps, must-have apps. It depends who you are. And so by tapping on the app screen, you're really focusing in on everything that's just apps. Now, one of the things that you can do if you don't want to sit there and scroll up to see if you can find the app, if you have a specific app that you're searching for, on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, there is a search tab, and it says search. It has a little magnifying glass, so it's on the lower right-hand side of the screen. If you tap on, if you tap on search, this brings you to a screen where you have the ability to actually tap anywhere in this field and then start typing in a particular app that you're searching for. So maybe what am I always use my calculator because I can't think of anything else. there is a calculator for the iPad. If I tap on that app, and again, I just picked on anything. If I tap on that, it brings me to a listing of all the different apps, calculator apps. And you'll see that some of these have Get on them. There are actually some that I've downloaded already. Some of these have this little download button. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what some of the differences are, because just because it says it's free, it may be free to download, but there may be some apps that they're free to download, but then they charge you a monthly fee, or you're downloading a demo for about a week or two, and then they start charging you. And here's how to know the difference. So let's look at this calculator pad edition, and I'm just circling this icon that says Get. You'll notice underneath Get, it says in-app purchases. So whenever you see that, even if it says it's free, it'll be free to download this app, but then you're going to start getting charged a monthly subscription. And you just need to really look for this and be aware of it. And let me see if I can find one. Here's an example. This calculator for iPad free. This is that Get button. And you'll notice there's no in-app purchases underneath. It truly is free. When you download this app, you will not get charged a monthly subscription. And so it's really important that you pay attention when you're downloading apps. And now
I don't
some
see
apps,
the free. Vicky, I don't see the free.
well, the thing is, do you see this word free here? And some apps have the word free in them. Some of them don't.
Is that free, that one? Because the Get is right next to it.
Right. Do you see the word free that I've circled, Nancy, which
Yes,
is,
yes.
Yep. And you'll know for sure that it's free because it won't have, let me see if I can find one. Let me go back. I'm going to type out calculator. I'm not going to do, I want to see if I can find some that are not free. Let's see. There's there's a free trial. Let's see if I can find one that is not free.
Vicky, how do we know if we're being charged a monthly fee?
You'll have to check your credit card, because that's what it'll do. That's one of the things when you setting up your iPad, you need to enter in a payment method in your user profile, because you won't be able to download apps, even free apps, if you don't have a payment method. And so that's something that we talked about in the beginner, iPad beginner for beginners class. I'm trying to see if I can find one. You'll see, because it says, it tells you how much it is. Let's go back. Let's see, home design games. I'm trying to see. Of course, whenever I want to find something that, oh, here you go. Can everyone see this example? This is an example of an app where you're going to get charged. It's going to cost you $7 to download this app. And so this is an app that is not free. And if you look at the app next to it, it doesn't have a price. So you may think, oh, it's free. Here's that Get button. I just get it. But you'll notice underneath it says in-app purchases. And it may also, let's go ahead and just tap on that one. I want to see what happens. I'm going to get the home design 3D. I just tapped on Get, and let me clear my little scribbles from here. And then I'm just going to, I'll enter my password because my thumbprint doesn't work. So give me a second just to do this. Nope. This, sign in. So I've signed in with my Apple ID. And now what it's doing is it's going to take a little bit, just about a minute to download. And you can tell because this circle over here is starting to fill up with that blue color. So it's going to take a moment. And once that blue is filled in, then you'll be able to actually open it up. And so I wanted to show you what the difference is between paid, free, which is truly free, and then free but in-app purchase, which is what we're downloading right now. And the really nice thing is when you download an app, you can always delete it. So if you downloaded something, and by the way, if you see that you're being charged on for a particular app and you're like, what? I didn't do this. You can always contact Apple support, say, hey, I didn't realize this was a subscription. I don't want to be paying for this. And you can ask them if they can refund you the subscription. So don't be afraid to contact, Apple support. I've done that before. I've said, I did not know that this was a subscription. So this is going to be this is going to be downloading, and it's going to take probably another 30 or so seconds. Let me just let this finish. Helen, I just want to, you had, thank you for asking, I want to learn how to add favorites and use my iPad like I do my MacBook. Oh, how do you silence notifications alerts? We can talk about that when we're talking about notifications. So I now can open up this app. I'm going to tap on open. And this is my 3D home design. It's still loading. I'm sure it's going to be, there we go. And I'm just going to click on close here to create. Would you need the full version? I'm just going to say no. And this is my app. So I'm just going to tap on my home button to close out of that app. And the next thing I want to show you is if I tap on the App Store once more, and I'm just going to click on, I'm just going to cancel out of this. Let's actually get out of apps for a moment. I'm going to just scroll to my home page where I have this home design. So here's my app. I know that I'm going to get charged. So what I want to do is I want to show you how do you delete apps that you've downloaded. So to delete something from your iPad, you just use your finger, you press and hold on the app. I'm just going to tap on it, press and hold, and you'll receive a menu. So a menu pops up. I'm going to press and hold my home design. I get that menu over here. I'm going to select delete app. I'll tap on delete app. It's going to ask me, well, you're also going to delete the data, but that's exactly what you want. You want to delete the app along with any data. So I'm going to tap on delete, and I've now deleted the app. I want to show you one more thing in the App Store. So I'm going to tap on my App Store app. And then when I tap on apps, let's see if I can find this. I'm going to go all the way up. Let's see. Let's do a search. I'm going to do design, home design. Let me get back to my home design. Where is it? Oh, all right. So I want to show you when you've downloaded an app to your iPad, even your iPhone, once you've downloaded it, even though you may have removed it, deleted it from your iPad, it's still available in the cloud. And this is what it will look like. It'll have this little cloud icon next to it, which indicates that you've already downloaded this app. You may have removed it from your iPad, but at any time, you can always come into the App Store, tap on this cloud, and it will then re-download it for you very quickly. And so if you happen to be scrolling through apps and you see one that has this little download icon, this little cloud, that's what it means. So you don't have to panic. It just means that you've already downloaded this and it's still available for you. And so those are some basics for working with the App Store, how you can find apps using that search facility over there, the difference between free apps, apps that look like they're free but have that in-app purchases, and then apps that are, you have to pay for. Any questions about the App Store? No? Okay. I'm going to click on my home button to exit me out of my App Store. The next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the search menu, the search menu. And so for those of you who are working with iPhones, you may know that if you keep swiping left on your iPhone, eventually you get to your app library. So if you're searching, on your iPhone, you have lots of apps and you're like, I can't find this. I just can't find this app. You know that you can keep swiping left on your iPhone screen. Eventually you'll get to the app library and you can even search for the app and say, oh, there it is. Well, you have a similar option called the search menu on your iPad. And the way that you get to this search menu is on your iPad, you'll take your finger and from anywhere in the middle of your iPad, just go to the center of your iPad. If you take your finger and swipe down, it brings up the search menu. And I have my settings set to have large icons, so I can only fit 2 lines of icons in here. But if you have your icons set to small icons, you would see more. And if, for example, if I was searching for one of navigation, I use Waze. And then I can tap on Waze and it brings up, in this case, not the app, but it's bringing up the actual website. So let's try that again. I'm going to just push down, going to pull down on my screen. There's the Waze app. And it's the same as if on your iPhone, you're looking for the app library. And so it's just really useful. You can search for apps. You can search for things on the web. You can, search for things in your settings. So this is the search screen, and people don't even know that it's available to them. Very useful, especially if you're having a hard time finding your apps. You might want to use this to just go into your library. And so again, I'm going to tap anywhere off of this screen. So tapping anywhere on your home screen closes the search menu. And so again, you're starting from the middle of your screen and then you're swiping down, and that brings up that search menu for you. Anyone have any questions about the search menu? I always tell people, just bring it up and start typing things in to see what it's going to show you. So that's the search menu. Control center. So this is another useful menu. And so to get to your control center, what you'll do is and you're going to need to practice. You're going to start in the upper right-hand corner, all the way on the right side of your iPad. And when you take your finger and you swipe down, not in the center, but in that, starting in the upper way right-hand corner here, this brings up your control center menu. And I'm going to show you in the next slide how you can customize this. And there are a number of different icons on here. Some of these, you know, and it also depends on your version of your iPad, your version of your operating system. You may have slightly different ones than I do, but let me just take you through a few of these. So if we start in the upper left-hand corner over here of the control center menu, this is where you have airplane mode. So what it does is it's almost like an abbreviated settings menu, if you want to think of it that way. Rather than tapping on your settings menu and scrolling through, finding airplane mode, selecting it, you can use your control center, just quick swipe, you know, tap on airplane mode, tap off. This is what we call Airdrop. It allows you to exchange files with other Apple devices that are nearby. Whoops, looks like I lost my, hold on. I hate when this happens. Let's try this again. Screen mirroring, let's try. I just lost my iPad for a moment, that's all. Just give me a second. In the meantime, there we go. It's back. So this is Airdrop. This will turn on Wi-Fi on and off. This will turn Bluetooth on and off. So simply by tapping on these icons, you're enabling and disabling things. So that's what's in these upper left-hand corner here. Again, this is your Wi-Fi. You can turn that on and off simply by tapping on it. Bluetooth, tapping on it again will enable it. If you are playing a video, or maybe you are playing a song, I want to resize my screen for a minute, so just give me a sec. Let's do this. Okay. If you are playing a movie, or maybe you're playing, you know, music, you can actually tap to play music or a video. Right now, I don't have anything playing, but I can simply use my control center screen menu to stop and start, you know, music that I might be playing. You also, this lock over here, this lock icon, if you tap on it, what it will do is lock your orientation. So I like to work with my iPad in I call it landscape mode on the side. It's just how I feel comfortable. When you lock this orientation, even if you rotate your screen up and down, it will still maintain that landscape orientation. A few other things you can do here. The sun, that's your screen brightness over there. The one to the right is your audio control, volume control, I should say. The little moon means I've turned on and off my sleep mode. So I've disabled my sleep mode right now, so that when I'm teaching, my iPad won't go into sleep mode. So you can turn that on and off. And there are just a number of other things at the bottom here. You can access your camera, access the notes app. You can set a timer. You can turn notifications, like audio notifications on and off. So you don't, if anything, if you have alarms going off, you don't hear the alarm. And so this is your control center. And again, I'm just tapping anywhere on my screen to get off. And you just need to practice using your finger, going to the upper right-hand corner and then swiping down. And that's how you can get your control center. And what you're looking at are default apps that are put on the control center for you. But you can change that. And so the way that you do that is by going into your settings. For anyone who's interested, if I tap on my settings app, in my settings app, there is control center right there. If I tap on control center menu, right now, these are the apps that are currently included. I can tap on the minus sign if I wanted to get rid of them. I don't want this, I don't want that. You're just tapping on the minus sign to remove them. So the next time you swipe down on the right-hand side of your iPad, whatever you remove won't show there. If I scroll up, these are controls that I can add to the control center menu. You simply tap on the plus sign and then it will show up on that control center menu. So again, I went into my apps, I went into my settings app. I scrolled down to control center. And then this is where you can remove controls by tapping on the minus sign or tap on the plus sign to add apps to your control center. And did you have a question?
I do, thank you. What is the dark mode?
So what dark mode will do is if I tap on dark mode, I believe in the evening, I could be wrong about this. I think it allows your screen to go dark to make it easier to see at night, because a lot of people have a lot of difficulty when they're at nighttime with a bright screen. What dark mode will do is it will put it visually will make your screen, it won't be bright, it'll make it dimmer.
Thank
So
you.
it's easier to read. And
Thank
try
you.
that too. Yeah. Kathy, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. I've tried several times to just swipe down from the right side of my screen, and the only thing I get is the search, what we did before, the search menu.
Okay. So even if you're all the way over to the right, it's not working?
Correct.
Okay. And Kathy, do you know what type of an iPad you might have? Like what model, and you can always go into your settings, select general, and under general, you can tap the about menu setting, and that will like what your software version is. It could depend on your software version as well.
It says it's an iPad 7th generation and the software version is 14.8.
All right, you're good. You're good. And so still with that, you can't get it, huh? Okay.
So I tried it on my home screen and I
Yeah.
can't. And then I went all the way over as far as I could go.
Okay.
And then, so I'm on my second page. I've only got 2 pages. And
Got
again, I'm using my index finger. So I don't know.
No, you should, as long as you're using one finger. And the thing is, are you going all the way up to the very, very top of your screen?
Yes.
All the way up to the top and just dragging it down, and you don't see this.
Okay. I just got it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. It takes a little bit of practice. And I still don't get it right all the time. I still bring up my search screen half the time. Great, I'm glad. Anybody else have questions about the control center?
Yes.
I do.
Oh yeah, Louis, did you have a question?
Is there any way to cut off the sound from the control center? For instance, a lot of times I'll have music playing and shut the iPad down and music continues to play.
One of the things that you can do is in the control center, if you have something playing, you can try this. Do you see where right now in my control center on the where I'm circling, it says not playing right over here.
Uh-huh.
And if I had music playing, I would be able to, I would have not the play button, but I would have 2 vertical bars, which would enable me to stop playing. I don't have any music playing right now. I think with Lewis, with the control center, if you have music currently playing, you can go into the control center and in that upper right-hand corner of the control center menu, you should be able to press stop to stop any music that's currently playing.
Right. Thank you.
Give that a shot. Anybody else have any other questions? I think there was somebody else.
Yes. Vicky, the apps in the control center, are those only
Yeah.
Apple apps, or can I buy a third-party app and I can put it in the control center?
What a great question. If I go to my settings and I go to control center, I think
Is that
it's
all
only
that's allowed?
Yeah. And these are
Okay.
not, I'm going to be honest with you, these are not apps that you download from the App Store. These are, think of them as controls, hence the name More Controls. These are more controls that come with the
Okay.
iPad that are available. Yeah.
Okay,
I should
thank
have
you.
been more specific about that. Sorry. Okay, great questions though. So that's the control center. I use it a lot, and start peeking around and seeing what you can do with the control center. Start adding some controls there. Really useful. You have to practice. We talked about customizing the control center. I want to talk to you a little bit about the notification center. And this is where notifications will pop up. So to get to your notification center, what you'll do is you'll start on the very top, right in the middle of your iPad, but go all the way up to the top, very tippy top of your screen. And again, with your finger, you'll simply drag your finger down, and that's how you get to your notification center. And so what you'll see here are notifications, and you'll need to have turned these on for your individual apps. So let's just say one of the things that you would have seen on my screen was this class, because I had added it to my calendar. And I said, for all my Google Calendar, I want you to add that to a notification. So a notification would show up here saying, you have a class coming up. There is one app called News that I have on my iPad, and I've set it up to allow notifications. So you'll see that sometimes what it'll do is it'll group together notifications that are coming from a single app. I don't have too much else going on here, but this will just show you some notifications. And let me just, I'm tapping on my home button to get out of here. And to set these up, if you go back into your settings, and I'm going to just scroll down, and let me see if I can find, where is that news? I want to find that news app. Of course, it is alphabetical. Where's my news? That's too, all right. I'm just going to pick my New York Times app. And you'll see when you select an app, there is notifications over there. If I tap on notifications, if you set notifications on, and that's by moving this switch over here, slider, you just move it to the right. Then once you do that, when you swipe down, if there are any new notifications for this app, they will show in that notification center. And so you can set this app by app. So I'm just going to tap on my home button to get out of settings. And now I'm back on my home page. So that's the notification center. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, remember starting in the middle of your screen and swiping down brings up your search menu. And I'm just going to tap on my home button to get out of that. Starting at the very, very top of your screen, right dead center in the middle, when you pull that down, that brings your notification screen, your center. Sorry about that.
How did you silence the notifications again? You went to settings to notifications?
Yes, so I tapped on settings, and then here, when I'm on my settings, let's see if I can get to, do I have my notifications here? There we go. If I tap on notifications, you'll
The black
see
thing
where,
is blocking it. The black notification center is blocking the blue line.
what is this? Oh, sorry about that. Can you see it better now? Okay.
Yeah.
So I tapped on notifications, and then where it says notifications style, you notice that these are all off. Let me see if I can find one that's on. There's my news. So if let me just draw a little.
Okay. You have to go to each one individually to get to the
Yeah,
lock screen, notification, and banners. Okay.
yeah. So you can turn these on, off. You can make them available in the notification center, make them available as banners, or when your screen is locked, show them there. Sounds, if I turn it off, you don't hear it pinging when it comes on.
Okay, Vicky, so where it says allow notifications, you have it toggled on green. So that's for all of them, right?
Yeah, this will, for everything. Yeah, if I
Okay.
move it on, it just gives me, where do I want to see these notifications? And then what you'll need to do is for each app, if I just tap on notifications, let me go back there. For each app, you can set these, but you would have had to go into, for example, the Flipboard app. I would have had to go into that app previously and turn notifications on. And I haven't, excuse me, so this is why it's set to off. Does that make sense?
If you have it set to off, or if you have it set to on, can you go through and selectively pick one to do the, if like you had it all set off completely and you only had like one or two you wanted on, can you go through and just do those two and leave leave everything else off?
No, if you, sorry about that. Let me go back to my notifications.
It sounds like it's all or none.
Yeah, well, if you turn them off for everything, then you won't get notifications at all. But know that you can turn apps for each app notifications on and off. And that's where you scroll down here. I'm just going to touch on, for example, calendar. Where's my notification for calendar? Oh, sorry about that. Let's go. Can I show it for anything else? I think what I did was for Flipboard. I have my notifications set to off right now. If I turn that on, then this is allowing notifications for Flipboard, this app. I'm allowing it to turn on. And so, sorry, I have to, because I'm coughing, I just had to take a cough lavender.
Okay.
So this is what you're doing is, let me go back. You're going into settings, and for each individual app, you can turn notifications on or off. So you're doing it on the app level.
Okay. Okay. So
Got
I can
it?
go through
All
and have
right.
it set. I could have it set one way, but I could go through and click, you know, a couple of apps that I make exceptions to when I
Yeah,
set. Okay. that's it.
exactly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to show you, Ann, did you have a question? Sorry, I saw your hand
Yeah,
raised.
sorry, wait a minute. Someone has their audio unmuted and we can hear the
Okay.
another background. It must be a television or something.
Yeah.
I don't hear it
Everyone
now,
looks
but
like, yeah, everybody, now everyone's muted. So sorry about that. I just saw, Hiroko, I saw your message. Sorry about that. Yeah, if
Okay.
everybody could keep themselves muted, that would be
Thank you.
great. My apologies. I didn't catch that one. I was so engrossed in what I was doing. All right. What's next? So we talked about our notification center. I want to talk a little bit about gestures. And before I do, does anybody have any other questions? Nope. Okay. Just stop me. Zooming in and out. So let me do this. I'm going to open up my Google Drive app. I'm going to open up a document. Now, let me just make sure that I'm not blocking anything. Oh, it does. Let me move this out. My mouse has been just not behaving today. So here we go. So I've just opened up a document and I want to show you how you can use what I call the pinching gesture to zoom in and out to make your text larger as well as smaller. So I just want to, where's Anthony? There he is. Oh, I just needed to make Anthony co-host.
Sorry, Vicky, I don't know. My system gone shared.
That's okay.
Sorry for that.
And what you'll do is I'm taking my fingers, and when you make a little pinching kind of gesture, and with both fingers on my iPad screen, I then move them out and you can see the text has gotten very large. You can do this when you're on a website. And then if I pinch my fingers, again, both of them are touching the screen. And when I move them close together again, it resizes the window, it resizes the text. So out and in, I call it this like little pinch gesture. Sometimes I'll use these two fingers. Again, what I do is I start with both fingers on the screen. I just widen them and then I bring them back together. And so I just wanted people to know that it's available. Not everybody knows how to do this. So whether you have a document open, whether you have a website open, I use this a lot because I can't see. I don't know who writes things anymore. They're all 20 years old. You know, the font is this big, all the buttons are this big. So using that pinching to zoom in and out, I find very useful. Louis, did you have a question?
Yes. Back on your notifications, if you wanted to be notified of Zoom meetings, what is the best way to do that?
So Louis, what I like to do is when I get an invitation for a Zoom meeting, if I click on reply, like RSVP rather, and I say, yes, I'm attending, it will ask you if you would like to save the meeting on your calendar. I always say yes. And when you do that, you can choose, well, what calendar do I use? Do I use Outlook, Yahoo, Google? Am I on a MacBook? Do I use iCalendar? It will save it to your calendar, and there's always a notification there. It will always pop up on your calendar, whether you're using an iPad or a PC. That's the best, really the only true way to have a Zoom meeting show up, pop up with one of those little reminders for you. And it will also show up on your notifications too. So Louis, have you done that before? Saved your
I've done that, but what you have on your calendar, it is not a entry into the Zoom. You still have to find your Zoom
on your calendar, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
were
won't
you?
It'll be just notification of the Zoom on the calendar, but you still have to go back and find the entry point, your Google account to put you into the Zoom.
So Louis, are you looking to have your Zoom meeting show up on your notifications?
I'd like for the notifications also to have the link to the Zoom.
Okay. And the link, okay. I don't know if it'll do it on notifications. I'll check that out for you, Louis, and see what I can do.
Otherwise, if you put it on the calendar, you get the notification, but you still got to around and find the input key. That's usually on the email.
Right, exactly. So, but it should pop up the actual invitation where you have the link. It will do that as well.
Right.
So I'll check that out for you to see if we can add it to notifications. And I'll add it to the after class notes. How's that?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Lily, did you have a question?
Yes. Just now you are talking control center, and then I have the kind music on, but I only can do the play and pause. Could not go to like you say no play.
You're talking about, I'm just going to tap to get out of here. When you're in the control center, are you talking about right over here, this area where for me it says not playing?
Yeah.
So for you, Lily, when you tap on the play, does it allow you to play?
Yes.
And
yes,
then can
because
you?
I have podcast on, so I only can go to play and then pause, and then I could not go to
let you stop.
Yeah, just pause, no stop.
Oh, okay. So it would allow you to play and pause. Okay, so pausing is basically a temporary stop. You probably need to actually go into the app to stop it altogether. Interesting. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. So it lets you pause it, which is you're stopping it, but you're not, you probably have to go into the app altogether and go into that app and stop it. So, all right.
Yeah, I go to podcast. That one is podcast, but I still cannot stop it. It's still just play and pause. Even I go
when you pause it, it will stop it though, won't it?
Yeah, when you pause, just pause. But you have to change it to another one, and then you could not just stop this one.
Okay. I'll have to experiment a little bit more with that.
Oh,
and
okay, thank you.
I'll see what I can find. So I'm going to make a note about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's all about learning. Anybody else have any other questions before I keep moving us along? So that's pause, play. I'm making a little note for myself. Pause my video. All right. Let's see what else I wanted to talk to you about. We talked about zooming in and out. Actually, I went ahead. There's one other thing I wanted to show you, and I don't know why I don't have a, that's all right. I want to show you how you can swap, you can switch from one app to another. So for example, I have a number of different apps open right now that I've been running. How do you see those apps and be able to access them? So there are different ways of actually doing this. And the first way, and it really depends on what you're comfortable with, which gestures you're comfortable using. So what I'm doing is I'm literally starting at the very, very bottom of my screen. And I'm taking one finger, and if I swipe up from the bottom and hold and then release, it is showing me all the different applications I currently have opened. And I am actually swiping to the right to see more. And I can tap on any one of these to open. So again, this is how I got there.
Are you saying they were open before, Vicki?
Yeah, I've
You've
actually
used
been
them.
opening these. Yes, I've used them. And so again, one way that you can do this is with your finger. You're going to have to start at the very, very edge of your screen at the bottom, and just taking one finger, just give that swipe up, hold, and then release. That's one way of accessing.
How do you close them?
Okay, what you can do is just tap on your home button or tap anywhere on that screen.
How do you close the app?
Oh. What you can do is, if I, for example, let's say I wanted to close my settings. I'm taking my finger. I'm going to press and swipe up. I'm going to hold on settings, and I'm going to swipe up.
So then it's gone? Thank you.
It's closed. Yep. So you press and swipe up. Press, swipe up, and that closes it. Now, if you're having trouble kind of finding out where at the bottom of your screen, there's another way to do this. If you have a home button, because some of you, if you have an iPad Pro or something newer, if you have a home button, the other way that you can do this is you can do a quick kind of a double click on your home button, click, click, and it will do the same thing. Louis, did you have a question?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't take my.
Oh, that's
hand.
okay. No problem. Absolutely no problem. And so again,
If you have a lot of apps open, that's it takes more out of your system, right?
yeah, it starts to use up resources. So if you find that things are moving slower on your iPad and things maybe just aren't running as well as they used to, see which apps you have open and maybe close some of them, all of them. I like to close my apps on a daily basis. A couple of times a day, I'll either double click on my home button, or I'll do that finger at the very bottom and swipe up. And then I'll just close my apps if I find that there's lots of them running, especially if you've been using, I know like mapping apps can use up a lot of resources. I like to try to close them if I've been using them on my iPad or iPhone. And so I wanted to show folks that this is how you can see what apps are currently open. And then simply tapping on an app will open up, will get you to that app. And so these apps are, they're kind of in reserve, if you will, in that reserve mode. Anybody have any questions or have any problems accessing this? Okay, and then again, tapping either on your home button or tapping anywhere on your screen where, you know, there's some space there. That always gets you back to your home screen. Okay, we are, I can't believe it, we are just on our hour. And I'm just looking through the, let's see, the calendar link. Candace had said something. The calendar link you save for a class has the link for your class at the bottom. The calendar link is the link for your class. Candace, can you be more specific about that? Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you were talking about. Feel free to unmute yourself. Candace may not be with us, so that's okay. We have another question. Oh, Ellen wanted to know, how does screen recording work? So Ellen, can you give me more information about that? What are you looking to do? Feel free to unmute yourself and just give me more information.
I know you can't do it when people are on, when you're on a Zoom, but can you do it, let's say, if something is on, you know, like a video that's not, you know, that's not protected. How would you record that?
You can always, so if you have something that's playing right now on your iPad and you wanted to record it, like a screen recording.
Right.
Okay, so I was going to say, oh, we can go into your camera and do a video. We don't have time right now. Let me go ahead and see what the best way to do that for a screen recording and get back to you on that, or just add it to the after class notes. Yeah, because there are different ways of doing it, and I want to see what the easiest way is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, we are just past our hour, and I just wanted to kind of get us together. Let me just move this over so we can see a little bit better. You know, just some takeaways from today's class. We talked about how to access notifications, swiping down from the top middle of your iPad, control center, the right-hand top, swiping down, and then that useful search menu. Anywhere in the middle, swiping down brings up search. Remember, you can use that pinching gesture to zoom in and out when you're on a web page, when you have a document open, and you can either double tap on your home button or take that finger and just swipe all the way up from the bottom, hold, and you can see all of the different recently used apps and have access to them that way. So just a couple of takeaways from today's class. I did want to thank everyone for joining me today. We do have some other classes for those of you who are working with Apple products. There's Understanding iCloud. That's how you can access your photos, any other apps working in the iCloud. Apple Pages for those of you working on MacBooks. And don't forget, when you're back in the lounge, and when I end class, I'll hop back into the lounge as well. Click on that Explore button, and that allows you to just start searching for other classes that, you know, may be of interest to you. And I also teach iPad basics. I'll be teaching TikTok. I teach a lot of the Google apps. So that's me. I'm going to stop my share so I can see everyone. And just thank you so much for your great questions. And I'll go through the text, our chat box, and if I missed anything in the chat, I'll do my best to add a response to the after class notes. Otherwise, I will be hanging out in the lounge for a couple minutes if people want to chat, but just have a fabulous rest of your Saturday. Thank you so much for your great questions and great comments. And I hope people feel a little bit more empowered, a little bit more comfortable using your iPad. And if there are other things you want to learn, I strongly suggest, in the after class notes that I'll be emailing, you have that big red give feedback button. Use that to let us know what else you would like us to be putting out there. Would you like yet an even more advanced, iPad class? Because that's how we make things better. We listen to you, our learners. So thank you all for joining me today. And thank you, Anthony, for your help.